Welcome to the Spirit Rock Music YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about Bob Dylan's Love Minus Zero, No Limit. So Dylan has written a lot of love songs. Some may sound bitter, others wise. I count Love Minus Zero, No Limit to the latter category. It abstracts from the trials and tribulations of relationships between humans and is pointing to a higher level where love is limitless, including everything and everyone and not excluding anything. The song was first released in 1965 on the album Bringing It All Back Home, which had a different title in Europe where it was called Subterranean Homesick Blues. The lyrics remind me of the spiritual teacher Krishnamurti, who did not want to be a guru and animated his listeners to let go of all earthly bonds to get free. So on to the lyrics. I think this song requires less interpretation than some of the other Dylan songs that are covered in this channel, so there's not so much to talk about here, but there are a few aspects that I would like to highlight. So, love requires neither ideals nor violence. She's faithful without having to talk about it. She's incorruptible and she doesn't need presents. In an inner state of this type of love, there's no more room for worries, for speculations, and finally the rational mind keeps silent. This love can only be found in the present moment, so it doesn't care too much about an unknown future. The third verse is more lyrical and probably a bit harder to understand, so let's see what we can make of that. So the lyrics talk of horsemen and pawns. Madams light the candles, and in ceremonies of the horsemen, even the pawn must hold a grudge, to quote the lyrics here. So what shall we make of horsemen and pawns? A spiritual key to this imagery could be to see it all happening within one person. There are higher and lower aspects in humans, noble traits and mean traits, like Smeagol and Gollum in the movie Lord of the Rings. It doesn't work to pretend to be all noble or to suppress one's dark sides. So the worldly personality that we can liken to the pawn can only retreat calmly and leave room for the high energy of pure unearthly love. Only the divine spark within, which we can liken to the horseman, is worthy of this love. And finally, everything that can be achieved by human ability will perish sooner or later. That's one thing that is for certain. The higher aspect of love sees through the ups and downs of life and doesn't lose itself to hope or despair. She doesn't take sides. So on to the last verse. The song does not exactly provide a happy ending. Everything is breaking down. And there's talk of a raven that is sitting at the window with a broken wing. That's how the song ends. So why does Dylan liken this pure love to a raven with a broken wing? Maybe we can take this as a hint that this level of love is not meant to be realized. A harsher term would be exploited in a world of opposites. It would have saved me a lot of emotional distress had I understood this concept earlier in my life. There's also talk about bankers' nieces who seek perfection and expect gifts that wise men bring. We can liken this to the human personality that hopes to receive something, get something out of this higher energy, this higher love that it may perceive sometimes, but it's not meant for the human mortal personality. So the energy that this love brings about can only nourish the spirit soul. Right, that was about it about this song. Those who appreciate a reference to the Bible may look at the 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And lastly, I just want to mention that, like a lot of other songs, Dylan songs, this one has been covered by many artists, including Joan Baez, Judy Collins, Fleetwood Mac, Rod Stewart, and many more. Let me know in the comments what you think of the horsemen, the pawns, the raven's broken wing, and what is your favorite Dylan love song? Well, all the best in your quest for love and your spiritual quest, whatever quest you're on or whatever you would like to call it. All the best. See you next time. Ciao.